Hi, this is Dr. Jeannie Barrow with fearlesswomenatwork.com. For this video for you this week, I am going to be talking about my latest blog, which is how to accelerate your progress and achieve success faster. And you may be wondering, is she going to give us some tips as to how to get our goals, set our goals, and go after the goals and achieve them? And what I'm going to do is actually do something very different, which is to share with you 3 recommendations for how you can accelerate your progress by doing something that may seem counterintuitive. So one of my clients, she was a participant at one of the events that I spoke at this year, and she participated in the program that I put together for this global company partner of mine, where I had follow-up coaching sessions for the audience. Whoever wanted to attend, they came to the session. And one of the talented women that came to the session was asking me how she could deal with the struggles she was having as she was trying to implement the tools that I had shared with the group, and she was having trouble implementing. And when I responded to her, I realized that the response that I gave her could potentially help you as well. So here it is. There are 3 key things to do to accelerate your progress. Number 1 is be compassionate. I've been on what I call the self-development train or wagon for a very long time, almost 2 decades. And I've been through trainings that have really lit me up, who've inspired me, given me the tools and strategies to change something and to attain something that I'm looking for. And for a long time, it's about building your skill sets, especially when you are in a certain stage of your career. And so those could be technical classes and trade-related skill sets. Those could also be leadership skills that you begin to develop as you engage and join the leadership ranks. And it could be your self-development, where you are looking to become the better version of who you are. So many people that are involved in the self-development world, whether it's personal or professional, may find themselves struggling to make progress as they engage with the work. And one of the things one of my mentors taught me, Stacy Martino, is that change happens on a spectrum. We can expect to change behavior overnight, and I'm experiencing that now with the leaders that I coach, where many of them have setbacks as they develop different leadership skills. So being compassionate with yourself means giving yourself a break and cutting yourself some slack. Most people that do self-development are very hard on themselves. We want to see results, we want to have impact, and when we don't see it as quickly as we wish, it can be frustrating. So I'm inviting you to be compassionate with yourself, and in the process, stop to celebrate the small wins. I went through a phase of my life where I only looked at what's next, and what's next. And as a result, I have multiple degrees, I achieved a lot in my professional career, and at the end of all that, I was always asking for what's next. And when I did that, that's when I noticed that I had to stop doing that, because every single day is an opportunity for me to hone in what I've accomplished, to be proud of what I've accomplished, and to be grateful for that. And when I started doing that and practicing gratitude and self-compassion and self-love, I found solace and joy in my everyday life versus waiting for the big bang or for the big thing to finish and complete before I could feel satisfied and fulfilled. So that's the first one, be compassionate. The second one is learn from it and move on. So when you are learning, whether it's a skill set, whether it's to grow personally, it's important to be able to, once you catch yourself in a state of, I feel like I made a mistake, I feel like I reverted back to an old behavior, and this again happens with my leaders, if you are working on a specific skill set and you fall back, when you acknowledge that you fell back, that you're no longer doing what you told yourself you were going to do, that's a great opportunity for you to say, hey, at least I caught myself. what can I learn from this? What would I continue to do? What would I do differently next time? And so instead of beating yourself up and being unrealistic about the fact that you expect it to change overnight, you are being compassionate with yourself, you're learning from it, and you're moving on. Instead of holding on to it and berating yourself or beating yourself up for quote unquote falling back. And the last thing is get to the source of it. So for my client who emailed me about how when she is in front of her manager is when she feels the least confident, for example. I wanted to ask her, what is the source of that? Is it fear, right? And one of the ways in which I fight fear is by shifting my focus on contribution. So if I feel that I'm not confident because I'm afraid that I may be judged, that I may sound stupid, that people may think that I don't know what I'm talking about or anything like that, that's when we're totally in our heads. And I would recommend let's get out of our heads and focus on contributing to the group, contributing to your manager, and making the biggest contribution that you possibly can. When we do that, we tend to remove the barriers that will hold us back and that will keep us leash or tethered, right, to the assumptions that we are making, which are totally fictitious most of the time. So be compassionate, learn from it, and move on and get to the source of it. It's really important. When we explore what could be happening inside of us, that is the source of why am I reverting back to that behavior, or what am I afraid of? What do I think is going to happen if I show up differently? And we pinpoint for ourselves, which could be very different from every person that does ask themselves the question, we're then able to peel back the onion and get more self-introspective and come up with insights that we probably wouldn't have noticed. Now notice that everything that I'm talking about requires one fundamental skill set, which is self-awareness, right? We have to be self-aware that we are not being compassionate. We have to be self-aware that we are beating ourselves up, and being self-aware that there is a source, that there's a reason why we are acting this way or behaving this way. And once we are able to realize it through the self-awareness, then that's the time when we have the opportunity to do something about it through our self-management. So I hope that this is helpful for you. If it is, leave me a comment. I would love to reply. And I know it's getting close to the holidays here in the United States. We're celebrating Christmas and Hanukkah and all these beautiful holidays during the month of December. So I send you and your loved ones and wish you all happy holidays. I hope you enjoy. I'll talk to you soon. And you can find me at fearlesswomenatwork.com. Bye.